What is good, YouTube? Back with the Prez. Early Wednesday morning, 9:30 in the morning today. Starting off the day, starting off the routine early today. It's full body Wednesday. The routine's gonna be spread out throughout the whole day. I'm gonna be throwing in different exercises in between my clients throughout the day. And I'm starting off with squats today, guys. You haven't seen me do any squats in a while, but you guys know I train legs 2 times a week on average, right? Typically it's one day where I'm barbell squatting, and the second day I'm gonna be doing belt squats, or I'm in the gym doing more machines, higher volume work. And I'm gonna say this before we get into it, because again, I'm short on time, because I actually have a client literally coming here in 5 minutes, so I got time to do one set, one all-out set, max effort intensity. So what I wanna say is, your training doesn't always have to be, or the exercise that you're doing for that matter, you don't always have to do 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 10, right? It doesn't have to always be 3 sets. And you hear me talk about the times where it's very important to do 10 sets of something. But there's also a time and place when you can only do 1 set. And as long as the effort and the intensity is there and it's high enough, 1 set is more than enough, guys. So 245 on the bar. I had just hit this for a 3x5 last Sunday. So I'm gonna AMRAP this 245 right now. 1 set, all out effort. Let's go. Go. Look at that, guys. 245 for 10. Not an all-time PR, but it's PR for this body weight right now. I'm about 163 pounds. Last time I was hitting 245 for 10 was beginning of the summer, around like May, and I was still over 170. So the fact that I'm lighter body weight now and still able to push the 245 for 10 definitely shows that my legs have been building their strength back up very effectively here, guys. 1 set was all we needed. I got 2 minutes till my client comes. I won't do any back off sessions until the heart rate comes down, and I'll finish off the full body day throughout the day, guys. I'll be filming everything. Stay tuned, let's get it. All right, guys, made it to the park to finish off the routine. Like I said, it's full body Wednesday. We started the morning off with squats in the garage gym. I had a few clients after that, and I was supposed to spread the entire training day out. I was supposed to have a few clients this afternoon, but I ended up getting some cancellations, so I have some time now. I can finish the entire routine right here, right now at the park. We're gonna be doing more of the intensity work today, guys, just training more skills, harder variations of movements, so the volume's gonna be lower. Remember, if you're saving reps in the tank, right, or let's just say we're doing something like EMOMs or 100 reps a day of an exercise, you're never taking those sets to failure, right? That's how you could accumulate a lot of volume, because you're doing multiple sets, but you're never taking the sets to failure. When you're training, when the intensity is higher, harder movements like front levers, handstand push-ups, right? You're naturally gonna fail in a lower rep range. The intensity is naturally gonna be higher. So naturally, when the intensity is higher like that, the volume's gonna be lower. So we're gonna be working more skill, strength moves today to start off, like I've been doing, guys. And then I'm gonna finish off the routine with more volume and hypertrophy work, some volume and hypertrophy work. Let's get into it. All right, guys, starting the routine off today. You guys know I've been training front levers every day for the month of October, and you guys have been seeing me train them routinely in my routines, right? It's been a staple pulling exercise for me as of late. I haven't been doing many weighted pulls. I've just been pretty much working muscle ups and front lever holds as my 2 main pulling movements this month. We're gonna start the routine off today with front levers on the dip bars, just because I could get into it in the strongest position possible, right? It's the easiest variation for me to get into and hold for the longest amount of time. So we're gonna try to not use bands today, and if I need to, I'm just gonna use the lightest band possible. And we're gonna be going for 3 sets of max time holds here. Like I said, lower volume, higher intensities here, guys. And when I'm doing the bodyweight holds, the max time is probably gonna be maybe 3-5 seconds max, but it's a longer hold time than I could get in by raising into it right now. So let's go. I'm pretty sure that was a solid 4.5, maybe would have caught 5 seconds there, guys. And to do these after training heavy squats for reps, your legs are gonna have some, you know, leftover volume of blood in there. They're gonna feel a little bit heavier. Back might have a little fatigue, so very happy with that first set. 3 sets, if the 3 sets are going good, maybe I'll do 5 sets where I add a band and add more time on here, guys. Let's get it. All right, guys, second set. Give myself about 4 minutes in between these sets right here. And one thing I'm gonna say, even though this is an isolation exercise, remember it's static. It's an isometric exercise, but it's also isolation. I talked about this when I was doing the front lever pulls in the last routine on Monday. The only movement on a front lever is coming from the shoulder joint, right? Granted, when you're holding it isometrically, the entire body is engaged though. That's the point here, guys. The nervous system is firing up again from the toes down to the connection of your hands on the bar. You have to engage every muscle in the body, even though, again, it's considered an isolation movement because the only joint that there's action coming from is the shoulder joint. But it's an isolation movement with full body tension. That's where calisthenics beats weightlifting tenfold, right? Because there's no exercise with weightlifting in the gym and bodybuilding that's going to create this much tension and engagement in the body like calisthenic advanced movements like this does, guys. Let's get the second set. And again, that was a solid 3. I might have hit 4-second hold right there. But again, I'm taking these sets right now to failure, and I'm training it still every day for the month of October. My goal for the month of October, like I've said many times, is to accumulate 20 seconds of front lever holds every day, spread throughout the day. So that's typically me just going and hitting a quick 2-second hold 10 times a day throughout the day, or sometimes I'll get 3-second holds, and I'll just accumulate it up from literally in the morning until the evening. And now training, again, I'm getting a nice solid 4 or 5 seconds each set. So by the end of October, I'm hoping I get a nice solid 7 to maybe 10-second hold fresh on the front lever here, guys. And at the same time right now, I'm slowly increasing my calories. I've been putting on a little bit more weight. So the fact that I'm gaining mass or just increasing my overall weight and keeping up with the front lever progress, again, that's a great sign here, guys. One more set. All right, getting into the third set, and literally just from the first 2 sets of holds right there, my lats are lit. The entire back is engaged, fired up right now. So I'll be happy if I catch a 3-second hold on this last set, just because, again, I know I have a lot of fatigue induced in the lats just already. Because remember, when the effort is high and I'm putting max effort each set, it's going to be very hard to continuously output that effort for multiple sets. So you got to expect to have a little bit of drop off, because I'm pretty much taking every set here to failure. All right, another 3 seconds there. I'm gonna go for the 4th set. I'm gonna put the lightest red band under my hips where I can try to get over 5 seconds for the last set right here. And I'll give myself another 3-minute break. All right, getting into the 3rd set, and literally just from the first 2 sets of holds right there, my lats are lit. The entire back is engaged, fired up right now. So I'll be happy if I catch a 3-second hold on this last set, just because, again, I know I have a lot of fatigue induced in the lats just already. Because remember, when the effort is high and I'm putting max effort each set, it's going to be very hard to continuously output that effort for multiple sets. So you got to expect to have a little bit of drop off, because I'm pretty much taking every set here to failure. All right, another 3 seconds there. I'm gonna go for the 4th set. I'm gonna put the lightest red band under my hips where I can try to get over 5 seconds for the last set right here. And I'll give myself another 3-minute break. All right, so check it. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out, right, and you want to just start to build some basic straight arm strength, some basic handstand push-up strength, I'm gonna be showing you guys variations of these movements also that you guys could use as regressions and just beginner training to build up the strength needed to get into the more advanced movements. Now, granted, you should not be training front levers until you at least are doing multiple sets of bodyweight pull-ups for at least 15 to 20 a clip, right? I'm saying try to get 3 to 4 sets of 20 reps unbroken is a good gauge to say, okay, you got enough bodyweight strength mastery to start training for a front lever pull, right? You want to start training for handstands, make sure you can at least hold L-sits on the dip bar for 20, 30 seconds solid, right? Because if you can't hold yourself on the dip bar and L-sit You ain't gonna be able to support yourself upside down, inverted on your arms alone, right? So, but you can start building basic strength. Handstand regressions or L-sits. Now, front lever regressions, straight arms, they're not that difficult, guys. One, you could literally just hang in a tucked L. It's gonna stretch the lats out, it's gonna engage a little bit of the core. Now you wanna take it to the next level. Remember this, the more tucked you are, the easier it's gonna be. The more you keep your hips open, the more advanced it's gonna be. That's why a front lever, it's fully open, right? Your hips are fully open, you're in a 180-degree angle, right? Straight line. But now, beginners, tuck your knees all the way to your chest. And then rotate up by pulling the bar down and just hold here for time, right? You don't gotta worry about retraction. It's straight arms. You can come back down, pull, back down, pull. So those are literally the beginner regressions to full front lever raises like you see me training on Monday, right? Which is gonna be the dynamic movement needed to get that straight arm strength, to learn how your body moves through space there, guys. So if you can't do the front lever holds, more advanced variation, and even if you can't do them with a band, because with a band, you still want perfect form. So most people are gonna fail on their hips. But first build up that straight arm pulling strength with movements like this. Let's go. All right, guys, front lever work is done. Moving on to our main push strength exercise. Again, another staple that you guys have seen in my routine for the past couple of months now. Handstand push-ups. I've been training on the P-bars as well as on the floor here. I train on the floor for more volume, right? Because when I'm training on the P-bars, my volume's around 2 or 3 handstand push-ups after the press-up, right, max. But on the floor, I could get 5 to 6. So if I could keep increasing the floor volume and keep increasing the range of motion on the floor, it's going to translate over to more reps on the bar. And what I did today, typically I'll have the dumbbells and I'll use those for more height. I stacked the dumbbells on some plates just to give myself an extra inch for range of motion right now. So handstand pushes, 3 sets here, hoping to fall in the 5 to 8 rep range. Tough 5. That's how it always is for the handstands for me. The first set is always the hardest, then my nervous system fires up, and the consecutive sets get a little bit better. 2 more. All right, guys, main strength work is done. Front lever pulls, handstand push. Handstand push, I call it 5-6-5 with a deeper range of motion. And I'm telling you right now, the way my lats felt after this 2 sets of just the front lever hold, super engaged, my shoulders, my entire upper right now is feeling it. And remember, handstand pushes, they're not just gonna train the delts. Even though back to the wall is gonna be an excellent variation for almost isolating the delts, more so than freestanding, because freestanding is gonna put a lot more stress on the front delt. Back to the wall, you're more in that frontal plane, which is mimicking more like a behind the neck shoulder press or dumbbell press standing, right? Whereas barbell presses, you're a little bit more in front, just like you're doing freestanding handstands. So now we're gonna get more volume, and I got the 20-pound vest on. 5-round superset now. 10 pulls, 20 deep range of motion pushes here, guys, to finish off the routine. All right, so like I said, this is the burnout routine. The first two routines, the front levers and the handstand push, like I said, we're taking 3 4-minute breaks in between each set. And even though I only did 4 sets of handstand push, 3 sets of handstand push and 4 sets of front levers, that took the majority of the training session up, right? And even though the volume was low, it induces a lot of fatigue, it induces a lot of stimulus to the body, right? When the intensities are high, your body's gonna get a lot of stimulus. Now we're going back to basic reps and sets, right? Just pull-ups and pushes. And I'm rocking the 20-pound vest. And what I'm doing a 10-20. 10-20 for 5 rounds ends up breaking down into a 50-100, right? 50 pulls, 100 push, which is the 5MD, the 5-minute drill. But I'm not running this as a 5-minute drill at the end right here. I am still trying to get everything done as quick as possible, but I'm breaking 90 seconds between each round right here. So 20, like I said, shoulders and upper chest. Got a lot of fatigue from the handstand pushes already. Upper is just lit from everything in general right now. So 4 more rounds of that, which will give a total of 50, 100 with the 20 to wrap up the routine. And every set here, guys, you're gonna see when I get into the pulls, I switch my grip up. So my main pulling work for this entire past couple weeks, all the month of October, my main strength pull work is front levers, right? And that's considered a horizontal pull. So when I'm doing my vertical pulls, I'm not doing heavy weighted pulls right now because the front levers alone, the intensity on them is high enough, right? I take pretty much every set to failure. So to do heavy weighted pulls with max loads right now would be disadvantageous, right? It would put too much fatigue in my lats and it would mess up my front lever training. So again, like I said, that's horizontal work. So for my pull work now during the routine, I'm obviously going to be doing more vertical, but it's going to be higher reps. That's why we're getting the 50 rep burnout right here, and I'm switching grips up. When I'm training the front levers, obviously I'm always going to be in the pronated grip. So getting the variety in here on the vertical pulls is just going to keep the elbows safe. It's going to hit the lats from different angles. And you guys have heard me talk many times about the 2-bar close grip pull, the neutral grip pull here. If you really want to target the lower lats the best, you want to keep those elbows as close to the body as possible, right? Keeping them tucked in. So if you're going wide 3-bar or wide pronated, the elbows aren't going to draw as close to the body as when you're supinated or when you're neutral 2-bar like you just saw me doing. And again, it's 20 push, deep range of motion after every set. And like I mentioned, the chest and the shoulders are lit up right now. The handstand pushes, they hit a lot of the upper chest. They hit a lot of the shoulders overall, right? Especially the back to the wall variation handstand push. They target more overall delt as opposed to freestanding, which is going to hit the whole delt, but it's going to put a little bit more emphasis on the front delt here, guys. So now we get into supinated chins here, guys. Again, just for that variety. And you can see with the supinated work and the 2-bar neutral work, the elbows draw down and back close to the body better than wide grip, better than pronated grip, right? Not saying that one is better for the lats, because again, when you're doing the pronated, when you're doing 2-bar pronated neutral, or when you're doing supinated, you're getting a lot more bicep activation as opposed to wide pronated, where you're really focusing a little bit more on lats and the brachialis muscle in the arm. So the supinated and the close grip, they engage lats better, but they also engage a little bit more biceps, so you get more assistance from the arms in that variation. And like I said, guys, 5 rounds to wrap it up. I did a strict 90-second break in between each set. Getting into the 5th set right now. Let's go.
All right, guys, last set. Alright guys, and that is a wrap for the day of training. Like I said, it was full body. We started early, 9:30, in the garage with legs, and finished up all upper right here. Strength, and then hypertrophy endurance work at the end to wrap it up. Front levers, handstand push, 2 main strength movements, high intensities, lower volume, but they induce a lot of fatigue on the overall body just because, again, they're so central nervous system engaging and stimulating. And then just a simple basic 10-20, 10 pulls, 20 push, which is a 5 MD, 50 pulls, 100 push-ups with the 20-pound vest on, right? If you guys want to take your body weight reps and your body weight training to the next level, it's as simple as literally just adding weight. Because just like bodybuilders do in the gym with bench press, they might start out on day one in the gym, bench pressing 135 pounds. But 3 years down the line, they're still gonna be bench pressing. They might just be bench pressing 275, 315. That's progressive overload, right? That's how they get stronger. Same thing with calisthenics, guys. The movements don't change. You could increase difficulty, do different range of motion, increase range of motion here. Just like if you use like a cambered bar for bench pressing, that gives you an extra range of motion. It's the same movements, different varieties of them, right? But it's the same basic fundamental movement patterns that we're just increasing over time with load. And the way to do it with body weight, get a vest, throw a bag on your back, and over time just keep getting stronger, guys. It's a wrap for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the training. Question or comment, you already know, guys, leave it in the comment section. I'll always get back to you. Like the video, share with your friends and your family, hit that subscribe button. Peace out. BARNATURALS.
They all love to talk, you know they do that shit the most. Think you on my level, boy, but you ain't even close.